We're going to encourage everyone to start to find their seat. We're excited that you're here. Shabbat Shalom. We're so glad you're here and that we can join together on this monumental morning for Scarlett and for her friends and for her family. We're glad you're here. Just a couple words about our service as we get ready to begin. First of all, we would love for you to join in the service, to participate. You can take the prayer book in your hands and follow along. There's a blue prayer book in front of you. If you have two sets of page numbers, you're looking at the blue page numbers. And you will find that there's some Hebrew, some English, some reading, some singing. And your main job is to participate in a way that feels comfortable for you. I'd also encourage everyone to please keep your mask on unless you are actively leading the service here at the microphone, as some people will be doing throughout our morning. And last but not least, of course, to please turn off your cell phone, to respect the sanctity of this space and give yourself the gift of being present, really being here, and honoring all of the hard work that Scarlett put into preparing for this big, big day. How do we feel? We feel good. Okay. It's just a little check-in. So we're going to begin with an opening song to help ourselves to really settle in, to settle into Shabbat, to settle into this special place, this special day. We're going to sing together Ma Yafeh Hayom, page 128. To present Scarlett with the tallis that she'll wear not only on this very special occasion, but hopefully on many future special occasions over the course of her Jewish journey. It's my pleasure to welcome forward Jason Altman.
As I wrap myself in the tali, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu bo mitzotav avitzivanu lachi tatif batiti. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign in the universe, who halls us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. May my life be one link in a chain of goodness. As I say the prayers of my ancestors, help me to recall their devotion and faithfulness, with their joy and suffering, which are in every word. Holiness is my heritage. May I be worthy of it. May our tradition live in me and pass from me to generations. I shall never know, enriched by the truth that I have found and the good deeds that I have done. So may I fulfill my task on earth and receive my blessing. And when the service ends and the prayers have ceased, help me to bring their spirit into the world in which I live. May I love God above all and my neighbor as myself, and be a living witness to the truth that never changes.
Our service continues as we sing Ma Tovu, page 290. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah uvaro vo nikavim nikavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chivodecha. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. We join in Nisim B'chol Yom, beginning on page 293, as we acknowledge the miraculous moments that make up our lives, with the idea being that on Shabbat especially we're meant to be attuned to the miraculous. Around over the course of our busy days, busy weeks, we sing together. We join in the blessing for the study of Torah, thanking God that we live in a time and place where we're free to study Torah and live lives of Torah and Jewish values. And so at the bottom of page 296, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Our service continues with Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 313. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvara, Baruch Adonai Hamvara le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from the darkness. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzei. We read responsibly. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in thousands of tongues for us to hear in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagine you in separate rays. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and the dawn from most life. We would turn to you to find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is Adonai's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated.
As our service continues at the bottom of page 319, it's my pleasure to welcome forward Georgianne Hopkins.
God of all humanity, we lift up our voice in gratitude for the gift of Torah to our granddaughter accepts on this day. We are grateful for the ideals that it has taught her: justice, compassion, and devotion, the partnership of mind, heart, and deed. We celebrate her taking her place among the Jewish people. May she do so with pride and with joy. God, as you have called upon the children of Israel, be a light to the nations, so too may our granddaughter be her own ray of light in the world.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, a song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We do continue now with our tefillah, this most central collection of prayers, beginning in your prayer book on page 323. Please rise. Maste avot v'imahot, u'me'bigula livnei bneihem, le'ma'an shemo ve'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshiach u'magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaya kol atah Rav Hoshia, Mashiva ruach morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol birachamim rabim, Somet tovim v'rofei cholim, U'mashir azarim. We may be seated. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Ve'yitangu mitzuvecha. V'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Ratita bo kidashto Shabbat, v'imdat yamim oto karata Shabbat. We do turn in our prayer books to page 330. It's my pleasure to welcome forward Karen Altman.
On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to heed your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you.
As we do each Shabbat, we offer now a prayer for peace, for greater peace in our world, a world that can feel so very fractured, so very broken, so very often. There is prejudice, there is injustice, there is hate, there is division, racism and anti-Semitism. Our prayer for peace becomes a prayer for greater humanity, that we might find our way back to terms like compassion and patience and empathy, as we sing together now in the name of Shalom, in the name of peace, with Sim Shalom, page 334. We'll pause for a precious moment or two now for the sake of our own prayers, our own personal prayers and reflections. It's a crowd pleaser. That's what it is. That's why we sing it. Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our service for the reading of Torah, can be found beginning in your prayer book on page 363. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. Please rise, everyone. Okay, here we go. Scarlett, in just a moment, we will pass this sacred scroll down through the generations, placing it in your very hands. We do this, of course, on this remarkable day for you and your family and all who know you and love you. This is your bat mitzvah day. Did you know that? Yeah. Yes. Okay, just a little check-in. And, of course, to be here with you on this day is such an honor. You've given us the gift of joining with you on this special day, and with that, the gift of joy and of hope, of celebration. Your friends carry these stories with you always, that you carry them not only in your hands, but also in your heart, that these stories give you strength and guidance when you need it most. With that, we're going to hear now some words from your own family, starting with your grandparents.
Whatever has befallen us, our people have remained steadfast in loyalty to the Torah. It was carried in the arms of parents that their children might not be deprived of their birthright.
And now we pray that you, Scarlett, may always be worthy of this inheritance. Take its teachings into your heart and in turn pass it on to your children and those who come after you. May you be a faithful Jew, searching for wisdom and truth, working for justice and peace.
Everything off? Until we okay, keep going, keep going. You may be seated. So Shabbat Shalom again, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Adam.
I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom, and then you say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well done. That's so good. That was really good. So this is our Torah scroll, and Scarlett now will have the honor of chanting an excerpt from this week's Torah portion. Every Shabbat, every Saturday morning of the entire year, we chant from the Torah, so that over the course of the year, we've read every single word of the whole Torah, every single letter of the whole Torah. How many letters are in the Torah? A lot. 304,805. That's how many letters are in the Torah. And if a single letter is missing from the Torah, it's not a valid Torah. It's not a kosher Torah. Every single letter is sacred, just like every single human being is sacred and needed. Now, where are we in the Torah this week? I'm glad you asked. We are in the book of Genesis. Thank you. I'm glad you're here, Scarlett. Genesis is the first book of the Torah, and that's where we are in the Torah. We are reading about two brothers, Jacob and Esau, two twin brothers. And the last time we saw these twin brothers, they had a massive falling out. Jacob deceived Esau. Esau chased him out of the house in a fury. And now they're much older. They're adults. And they're preparing for a big reunion. They're going to reconcile. They teach us that forgiveness is a Jewish idea. Second chances are a Jewish idea. That we should find a way to move forward, not live with resentment, anger, hate in our heart. Before the big reunion, Jacob is going to have a dream. You know that? Jacob's going to have a famous dream where he's wrestling with an angel. We don't know what the angel is. Is the angel his conscience? Is it his past? Is he somehow wrestling with his brother? And when he wrestles with this angel, he manages to overcome the angel. He wins the wrestling match. He's a good wrestler. And right before he wakes up, he says to the angel, I want you to change my name. And the angel changes Jacob's name, and this is the first time we see this word, to, what is Jacob's name changed to in that moment? Yisrael. Israel. Israel. And the word Israel means to wrestle with God. We are a people who are always wrestling with God, asking hard questions, not taking anything at face value, always struggling, striving, really digging into words like faith and theology. What does it all mean? So Jacob sets an example for all of us. His wrestling validates ours. And when he wakes up, validated, he feels ready to go, and he's going to have this very special reunion with Esau. So it's a full Torah portion. It's a very special and important Torah portion, and Scarlett's going to now present some of it to us. She's been working hard for this. For the honor of our first Aliyah to the Torah, it's my pleasure to welcome forward now Lisa and Matthew Hopkins, Elisheva Bat Chaya.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah. Amen.
ותיגש נא השפחות, הנה וילדיהן, וישתחוונה. ותיגש נא גם לאה, וילדיה וישתחוו. ואחר ניגש יוסף, ורחל וישתחוו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tuchenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah. Amen.
It's my honor and privilege to officially call to the Torah as a bat mitzvah Scarlett Rose Hopkins, Liron Masha Bat Elisheva. Please rise, everyone.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'halanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
ויאמר מי לך כל המחנה הזה אשר פגשתי ויאמר למצוא חן בעיני אדוני ויאמר עשיו יש לי רב אחי יהי לך שלח Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai notein HaTorah.
Good job, Scarlett. That was so good. That was easy. You guys can sit. Sit well too. Right? As we remain standing with the honor of Hagba and Galila, the dressing of our Torah, it's my pleasure to welcome forward Jason Altman and Robin Altman. Okay, Scarlett's going to give you what you need. Okay. may be seated. It is our custom at this important point in our service that we pause in order to offer a prayer for healing for those in our lives, those in our community who may be in need of healing. Perhaps there is someone that you're thinking of at this very moment, someone struggling in some way, hurting in some way. Now's the time we pray together on their behalf. And we pray together in the name of their return to strength and wellness. As a congregation on this Shabbat morning, our prayers are with Eliana Cohn, Rick Ulrich, Lynn Romsberg, Jerry Dreskin, Ann Marsden, Stephen Trombecki, Sarah Oken, Gary Garnick, Michael Infanti, Shirley Friedlander, Robert Weiner, Jen Jones, Jocelyn Jackson, Eddie Rosen, Mary Mednitsky, Nick Bowd, Tikva Moshava, Murray Kammerman, Rick Forenau, Todd Pollard, Al Glogauer, Dr. Jerry Herman, Devorah Tehila Batlea, Carrie Basin, Lisa Ager-Brown, Joan Sattinger, Star Berkowitz, Harriet Rosenberg, and Hudson Hodge. If there's a name you'd like to add to this list, someone for whom you offer a Misha Berach, a prayer for healing, please feel free to rise and do so now as my glance meets your own. Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, can be found on page 371.
Shabbat Shalom. My portion is called Vayishlach. It comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 33. This book begins following the falling out of the two brothers, Jacob and Esau. The story ends with their sweet reuniting. Earlier in Genesis, we read that Esau was supposed to get the birthright, as he was the older brother. But instead, his mother thought it would be a better idea for Jacob to get the birthright. Their mother, Rebekah, dressed up Jacob to look like Esau to fool their aging father, Isaac. But when Esau and his dad found out about this, they were furious. Esau had waited his entire life for this birthright and his blessing. Esau chased Jacob out of the house, and they remained separated for many years. The night before the reunion, Jacob has a dream. During the dream, he is in a wrestling match with an angel. At the end of the match, Jacob forces the angel to change his name. So the angel follows his commands and changes Jacob's name to Israel. When the morning comes, Jacob feels ready to be reunited with Esau. The two brothers hug, but it's not just a hug. To them, it's a whole new chapter of brotherhood. They show us that second chances are possible. This portion connects with me in a special way. We've all made mistakes. For example, sports is a huge portion of my life. During a game against Penn Salkin and number 25, when she beat me up the field, I felt horrible. And my coach told me again and again, stay with your mark and get with your mark and you're faster. Don't focus on the ball, focus on her. Get her down first. Coach Drew says that very angrily. So when she beat me up the field, I felt horrible, and I got off the field, and Coach Gatto told me, don't worry about it. There would always be a second chance. Not only did my coaches give me that second chance, though, so did my teammates for still believing in me after making mistakes. Thanks to coaches, Coach Gatto, Coach Drew, and finally Coach Colin for making my season bright and full of second chances. Thank you to my teammates for always having my back and believing in me, just like the brothers ultimately did and had trust in each other and faith enough to start over and redeem themselves. Part of my journey to this day had me help for my bat mitzvah project. We made sandwiches for homeless people. There's so much poverty and hunger in our world. We all must do our part to help those in need. Sometimes people think it's embarrassing or unsettling or not right to ask for help, or to say that they need assistance supporting their family with food. By donating sandwiches to the St. Paul's Outreach Program, I wish to solve this growing problem and do as much as I can to help and give those in need a second chance to better themselves. As I reached my bat mitzvah day I couldn't reach my bat mitzvah day on my own. My journey was hard at some times. I was busy with sports and obligations. It was hard for me to learn Hebrew, and I was always behind. So the first couple of weeks were very hard for me. Even though I thought about pushing this day off, I started to study a lot more and fought off any laziness. I realized how much I wanted to make my Gigi and Grandpa happy by fulfilling my important mitzvah. There were many people that helped me get there to where I am right now. Those people are my Aunt Robin, Rabbi David, my parents, and my grandma. And Larry for telling me to go slow. But most off, my cantor. When I say most of all, because I mean she put up with me for 3 months while I whined and complained and did not study. But she helped me and took care of me through my journey. Like Jacob and Esau, she forgave me multiple times and told me to keep going. But a huge thank you to my best friend and second mom, Mrs. Campbell and Wheezy, for telling me about her high school bestie that was Jewish so that I could be happy and could be the Jewish bestie towards Wheezy. Thank you to everyone in this room for helping me and supporting me through my journey to becoming a Jewish adult. Shabbat Shalom.
Great job, Scarlett. Mazel tov on getting to this special moment. You did such a great job up here today. You were poised, you were confident, you were funny, you were great. And I know how hard you worked to get to this day. There were months and months of hard work. There were times you weren't sure you could do it. There was some stress. But you stuck with it, Scarlett. You just kept on going. And while this process taught you a lot about tradition and Torah and heritage, I'm guessing it also taught you a lot about yourself. That you have it in you to do challenging things, that you have it in you to overcome the odds. And it's true, you are such a sweet and enthusiastic soul. You're a good friend, you're a great athlete, you're a great human being, Scarlett. And your Torah portion had you think about Jacob and Esau, a story that starts out bumpy, shall we say, with brother tricking brother, leading to anger, resentment, and ultimately, as we see now, a long overdue reconciliation and apology. As we said, the night before the encounter, Jacob has a dream, and not for the first time. Jacob is a dreamer, as we are meant to be dreamers. In his angst, he dreams that he wrestles this unnamed angel. As we said, maybe it's his conscience, maybe it's his past, maybe it's a form of his brother. And when he defeats the angel, he demands the angel change his name to Yisrael, which he does, the one who struggles with God. And indeed, to be a part of this people is to wrestle all the time with words like God, faith, Torah, to take nothing for granted, but rather to bring ourselves, our intellect, all of our curiosity to Judaism. And that's what you do, Scarlett. You ask really good questions. You ask great questions. You wonder about the Jewish story. You have the courage to wonder. And those are all such great qualities, qualities that will serve you well always. And Scarlett, I've loved getting to know you. I've loved connecting with your parents. We have a lot of mutual friends. And we're all just so proud to know you, Scarlett, and to be even some part of your story. Now, a little-known story, you and I bonded over something very unlikely. You may not know this. We bonded, Scarlett and I, over surfing. It's true. I was so excited to hear that you had gotten into surfing, and we talked and talked about surfing, and you mentioned to me, like an offhand comment, that you didn't have your own board yet. And I mentioned that maybe I had an extra board for you. And sure enough, the very next day, there I was helping your mom to load a surfboard into the back of your car. This is a true story. I wouldn't lie to you. Now, surfing's a lot like life, Scarlett. Sometimes the waves are perfect and clean and smooth, and you feel so good. You feel unstoppable. And sometimes the waves are choppy and rough and relentless, and you're just barely surviving. You're not sure which way is up or down. The key is to get back on the board, to just keep standing up, again and again and again, like Jacob did. Scarlett, I pray that you be blessed with great waves and with lots of sunny days. I pray that you remember how strong you are and that nothing's impossible for you. And I personally can't wait to see where you lead all of us, Scarlett. Now, if I can invite you back up here to the podium for a sec, I have a little presentation to make. First of all, let's just do a little check-in again. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're smiling now, and you're like breathing, and this is good. This is good. You told me before the service you were extremely nervous. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes. And are you feeling nervous now?
No.
Not so much. Well, that's great. And I told you that actually the nerves are good. Remember, I told you the nerves are a very good sign. When we're nervous about something, it means that we care. It means that you care about that thing. And I said, it's a good sign because you care about this day. This day means something to you. And I know that that's true. And I know there are a lot of gifts coming your way. At least that's my great hope for you, Scarlett. That you get absolutely bombarded with gifts today. I think you will. I think they're gonna rise to the occasion, these people. They're gonna do it. But these are among some of the first gifts for you, Scarlett. So this is from Men's Club and Sisterhood, your own candlesticks.
I've been told not to open.
You've been told not to open. It's your bar mitzvah day. You do whatever you want. So these are to use on Shabbat and Jewish holidays. Totally up to you. Those are for you to treasure forever. This is your own copy of the Torah to have and to keep and to refer to all your life. And then we have a series of certificates for you here. I'll just mention some of them. This is from the congregation. So we have an invitation to be a part of our great youth group. They do stuff around the community. I think they're having a big bonfire tonight, for instance. This is a gift certificate to help you to travel to Israel, maybe on a teen trip, maybe with your family at some point, to see the wonder and beauty of the land of Israel. That'd be pretty great, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then this is a scholarship to encourage you to stick around and to stay at teen night, as I know you will. You have so many friends here. And Wednesday nights are all about connecting with your community. Making food. You're right, that's one of our electives. And living Torah in a way that's real and relevant. All right, so that's something to take advantage of too. Last but not least, We signed this beautiful certificate prior to the start of our service. You signed it very nicely. Good, very good penmanship, if I do say so myself. And this certificate is always meant to be a reminder of this day that you did it, that you stood up here in front of everyone you know, right? How many people could do that? And you chanted from the Torah, and you led our service. This certificate is to be a reminder of today, and a reminder more than anything that you, Scarlett, can do anything you set your mind to, which you can do. We all believe that about you. And finally, my own personal prayer for you is that you be blessed always with health, happiness, lots of laughter, lots of love. And together we can all say,
Amen.
Amen. Shehechianu is a blessing that's recited at the most joyous occasions in Jewish life, and today certainly qualifies. So to lead us in a Shehechianu, it's my pleasure to welcome forward Harvey Edelman.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekiyanu v'hekimanu v'heginanu b'zman hazeh.
We're going to welcome Scarlett's parents now back to the Bima so that they can share a special blessing on this special day.
Scarlett, surrounded by our family, friends, and community, this is a blessing I have for you. May you have the ability to make your hopes and dreams come true. May you be blessed with patience and understanding, with wisdom and compassion in your mind and heart. May your deeds support righteousness, and your goodness serves as an example to others. May your enthusiasm for learning continue throughout your life and bring you great personal joy and fulfillment. May your eyes shine with the light of the Torah and your voice be filled with song. May your Judaism not be just something inherited, but something to be discovered and explored. Mazel tov.
As we do now return our Torah to the Ark, I'm going to ask everyone to please rise once more. Can you open your God always bless you and keep you. May God's countenance always shine upon you and be gracious unto you. God always be with you and bless you always with peace. And together we can say, Amen. We'll remain standing for Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוסף בראשית, שלא עשנו כי היה רצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כאן, בגורלנו ככל המונם, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We do remain standing as our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and every nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, life and death. We recall first those taken from our congregational community in most recent days, including Hal Steinberg, brother of Roz Rosenbluth, Barbara Lustig, mother of Emily Orell, Meyer Wiener, father of Sam Wiener, grandfather of Ben and Dylan. As well, we recall at this time those whose yahrzeit we mark this Shabbat: Sonny Michael Davidson, Oliver Darby, Erwin Eggendorf, George Frank, Morton Holtzman, Bernard Javatowski, Shana Kramer, Eugene Novak, Leon Pepper, Harry Rosenbluth, Ann Seidel, Ann Seltzer, Marilyn Trombecki, Sidney Vinitsky, Ann Wright, and with an especially heavy heart on this day, Seymour Altman, Julia and Morris Edelman, Faye and Louis Altman, Kenny Hopkins, Ann and Chick Wilkins, Ruth and Raymond Hopkins, Herman and Shirley Resnick, Sylvia and Harry Kravitz. If there's a name you'd like to add to this list, someone for whom you say Kaddish, please feel free to do so now as my glance meets your own. In all their names and all their memories, we turn to page 598 and join in the age-old words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, thanking God for the gift of life. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei rabbah, b'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaychon uv'yomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael, v'agalal v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru. Yehei shloma rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. We're going to remain standing for our closing song, which is Eitz Chaim, Tree of Life. Please join us. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it. We can join in the motzi before making our way into a small oneg that's been set up in the social hall for all of us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'teyavon. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and Mazel Tov, Scarlett.